guys, welcome to another part of Rickshaw Girl. We are on chapter 6, and as you remember, Naima had crashed the rickshaw, and she was feeling rather guilty about it. So, I think I'd asked you to think about how she's feeling, and now I just told you, yes, she feels quite bad about what she did. Father had parked the rickshaw in front of the hut. Naima kept her eyes down as she passed it. Inside, she went straight to her mat and pulled the sheet over her head. She felt the thump of her sister landing cross-legged beside her. A small hand fumbled under the sheet to find hers. "We need to repair it soon," Mother was saying. "With such a ruined rickshaw, you won't get any business for weddings or other parties. Both of the repair shops in our village are too expensive," Father said, "and they don't do good work. Where will you take it? I heard a rumor that Hassan's rickshaw repair shop is opening up again in the next village. Old Hassan was the best rickshaw painter for miles around. The best work, at the best prices, he used to brag, and he was right. One of his sons must have decided to start the business up again. I'll take the rickshaw there as soon as it opens." "It's going to be expensive," Mother said. "We'll have to get it painted again and fix the dents and tears." "Let me see how much extra money I'll need to make." Naima heard the rattling sound of the tin bank they kept in the wardrobe. "We can't use that money," Mother said. "That's for Rashida's school fees. Here, take this instead. We'll have to trade it for the repairs." Naima yanked the sheet off her head. It was just as she'd feared. Mother had twisted off one of the 2 gold bangles she always wore on her wrist. She was holding it out to Father. Naima saw Father looking deep into Mother's eyes. "You were wearing these on our wedding day," he said. Mother smiled. "What's mine is yours, remember?" Father took the bangle and put it back on Mother's wrist. Naima waited for him to declare that he'd never sell it. Instead, he said, "We'll trade it only if I can't earn enough money." Naima couldn't believe it. That bangle had been given to her great-grandmother by her mother. The soft clinking of 2 circles had always made music for their family. Now they might lose that music forever. She lay down and covered her face again with the sheet, wishing she didn't ever have to take it off. The tears were coming fast now. She heard the rustle of her sister getting up. She felt the weight of Father's palm on her covered head, resting there for a moment. His footsteps crossed the stone threshold. The bell of the rickshaw chimed as he drove away. Someone gently pulled back the sheet. A soft hand smoothed the tangled hair off her forehead. A low voice began a familiar lullaby. Naima wiped her tears and drew a shaky breath. The pain inside her heart loosened a bit. The pair of bangles was still singing on Mother's wrist. Maybe Father could earn the money for the repairs. There's a picture of the bangles. Chapter 7. After the crash, Father no longer came home for lunch. He was trying to find passengers while the other rickshaws sat idle. He stayed out until midnight in case somebody needed an emergency ride, but Mother had been right. People didn't like the look of such a battered and dented rickshaw. They didn't trust a driver who would let his rickshaw get into such a state. Every afternoon, Naima searched Father's face. The bangle was still on Mother's wrist, but for how long? How many days could he work from dawn until midnight without getting sick? A couple of aunts came to visit, sitting outside on the threshold with Mother. "What's wrong with Naima?" one of them asked. "We heard she crashed your rickshaw. Why in the world was she driving it anyway?" Mother bristled. "Everybody makes mistakes. She was only trying to help. She's growing up, you know." Mother came inside to make tea, and the voices outside became whispers that carried up into the hut. "Wrecking a rickshaw is growing up. Doesn't sound like she was trying to help. Something must be wrong with that girl." Salim rode by, ringing his bell loudly, the white handkerchief poking out of his pocket. You guys remember what the white handkerchief means? That's his signal, remember, to Naima that they should hang out. He even took it out and pretended to blow his nose, trying to make sure Naima spotted the signal. But she didn't push back the window covering and wave. She didn't dash outside so they could exchange a few words. And she certainly didn't slip over the banana grove to meet him. "I'm already a disgrace," she thought. "If my aunts catch me spending time with a boy, I'll bring even more shame to Mother." During the next couple of weeks, Salim made several more attempts before the handkerchief disappeared, and he stopped ringing the rickshaw bell. Naima peeked at him from behind the curtain, fiddling with the white ribbon she kept hidden on her wrist under the long sleeve of her salwar kameez. Life was closing in around her like the bushes had closed in around the rickshaw. There's a good simile describing how she's feeling, right? But comparing it to something that actually happened in the story. She even wished that her parents would punish her for what she had done. But after scolding her that first day, Mother never brought it up again. She seemed to think Naima was feeling bad enough. "Our daughter's so sad these days," she told Father one night when she thought the girls were asleep. "She doesn't rush through her chores to paint alpanas. She doesn't chatter nonstop about crazy ideas and plans. She moves so slowly and keeps so quiet, I hardly know she's there." "She'll be herself again soon," Father said, "as soon as we get that rickshaw fixed." Father's confidence helped a little, but Naima still felt empty and numb. When she closed her eyes, the only thing she could picture was Father's beaten and bruised rickshaw. The image of it blocked the alpana designs that used to dazzle her mind with color. She could hardly remember the countless ideas that used to spin in her mind as she washed clothes or chopped vegetables. International Mother Language Day, February 21st, came and went. Naima couldn't bring herself to decorate the family's hut, even though Rashida pleaded with her to try. Rashida and Mother did their best, but the prize went to a girl on the other side of the village. Relatives gathered at a great-uncle's house to eat biryani chicken and celebrate the holiday. Naima's aunts wore new silk saris, rustling like wind in the rice paddies. Mother put on her party sari, the one she wore every year. Naima noticed the patch she was trying to hide, how faded the sari looked among the bright colors of the others. "Any news about the repair shop in the next village?" Father asked. "I think it's opening next week," someone answered. "Hassan's prices and work were always the best for miles around. The crooks who run the shops around here are spreading rumors about that shop already." "What are they saying?" "Oh, I don't believe anything they say. They don't want to lose our business, so they're making up all kinds of crazy stories." "They're probably telling the truth," an older uncle said. "The old man tried to train his sons, but neither one was as good as he was. I'll let you know what I find out," Father promised. After the holiday, the days slipped back into their pattern. Rashida was back at school. Father was working day and night. Mother and Naima were doing the household chores in silence. And Salim was riding by, stony-faced, keeping his eyes straight ahead, as he steered his father's rickshaw up and down the lane. So now I'm going to ask you guys, how do you think Salim is feeling, and why? Stony-faced. And why do you think he's keeping his eyes on the road? His feelings might be hurt, right? Like, he has no idea why Naima is sort of ignoring or resisting him. She hasn't told him. So he might be feeling rejected because they were close friends. They are close friends. It's just that right now they can't. So the next chapter will be chapter 8. And there are only 13 chapters, so I'm going to stop there. I know these are short, but I can tell by the views that not all of you have been keeping up with watching them. So we will stop there. That is part 3 of Rickshaw Girl. All right, you guys. See you tomorrow.